A loop is basically a control structure that will keep repeating a statement or a group of statements until a certain condition isn't true anymore. So as long as you have a condition that's true, it'll continue to repeat. C++ has 3 loop control structures. So first of all, C++ has a while loop, a do while loop, and a for loop. Today we're going to talk about a while loop. And so the basic structure for a while loop is just the word while and then some expression. So this is something that will be tested to see if it's true or false. And if it's true, you're going to run whatever statement is in your while loop. If it's false, it's just going to skip that statement. And it's going to keep running it until the expression becomes false. So if we just have one statement, we don't need the curly braces, but if we want to have a group of statements inside the while loop, then we need some curly braces to indicate that it's a block of code. So the basic structure for this is, so let's say this is our expression that we're testing. So we're going to go into this while loop and it's going to look at this expression. And if this expression is true, it's going to run some statements, whatever you have in your code there. If it's false, it's going to skip that statement and keep running whatever code comes after that. After it runs this statement, it's going to go back up to here, then it's going to retest this expression, and if it's still true, it's going to run it again. If it's false, it'll exit. So if it was true and it went back into, it'll go back and run the statement and then go back, and it'll keep doing that until the statement becomes false. Let's say that we have, let's say that we want to have a while loop that's going to print out hello a few times. So what we can do is, well, let's start with the while loop and then I'll do the variable. So the format is while, and then we're going to have some kind of condition inside of this while. So let's say number is less than or equal to 5. So basically what I'm saying is, as long as some number is less than or equal to 5, I'm going to run whatever code I have inside this while loop. And so let's just say that we want to print out, or we want to display hello to the console. So I'm going to display hello. And then so I have this number. I haven't specified what it is yet, so I'm going to declare that. And I'm just going to say int number equals 1. So I have number equals 1, and then I have while number is less than or equal to 5, display hello to the console. So what we need is we need to increment this number, because right now number is equal to 1. So if I run this, and so let's say it runs it, it's going to go back up and do this comparison again. And if we don't change number, it's going to see that number is still less than or equal to 5. Run this again, go back up, look at it, see that number is still less than or equal to 5. We're basically going to end up with an infinite loop. So we need to increment this number or change it in some way so that the loop will eventually end. So what I'm going to do is number plus plus, and we're going to talk about this plus plus in more detail in a minute. But this is basically called the increment operator. And so what this is going to do is, I'll just talk about it right now. So this number plus plus is, I could have written this as number, this is equivalent to number is equal to number plus 1, or remember how we could have this, so plus equal 1. So all of these are going to basically do the same thing. This number plus plus adds 1 to whatever number is. And so you could have done this any of these other ways, though. So let's Let's see. So let's do a statement down here and just do cout. That's all. And then let's compile this and see what it does. So basically, it prints out hello 5 times, and then it says that's all. So we go into this while loop. So when we go into this while loop, number is equal to 1 initially, right? So 1 is less than or equal to 5. So it's going to display hello to the console. It's going to increment number by 1. So now number is equal to 2. And then it's going to go back up and test this condition again. So now it says 2 is less than or number less than or equal to 5. 2 is less than or equal to 5. So this is still true. So it's going to go down here and display hello to the console again. Then it's going to increment number. So now number is equal to 3. It's going to go back up here and test it again, find that it's still true. Now number is equal to 4. It's going to go back up here and test it again, find that this is true, and so on until number is equal to 6. Because when number is equal to 5, this is number less than or equal to 5, so it's still true when number is 5. So this is going to keep running until number is 6, and then it's going to exit the loop when number is equal to 6. This statement becomes false, and it's going to exit the loop and then display that's all to the console. So one thing I want to mention with this while loop, so the while loop is considered a pre-test loop. And the reason why is because it tests the expression before the iteration. So it's going to test and see if number is less than or equal to 5 before it runs through the code in the loop. And so in other words, if this condition is false before the loop even starts, it's not going to run it at all. So for instance, let's say that number is equal to 6. Now this should start out false. So let's compile this again and run it. And so it doesn't run the loop at all now because the condition is false. So a pretest loop is one that tests your condition before it runs any code in the loop. And we're going to see an example later of a loop that will run at least one iteration of the code before it tests your condition. So now I want to, and then I'm not going to take this out and run it, but if I didn't increment that, this loop is going to run forever. So you want to avoid infinite loops.